Today I have two options of things that I could do. The first one is finish building my new diorama table, which will be a medieval scene. I've got to cut the tops, which is just sheets of melamine. So I've got to cut those to the right size, and then I also have to add supportive legs throughout the center. Get that done with. That'd be pretty cool. Then this area is good to go. I can put all the medieval stuff up off the ground on there. I can bust out my two medieval blacksmiths that I have upstairs, start building some alt builds or just part those out as parts packs and just start base plating this area up. And then also build the Dungeons and Dragons set integrated into there and just sort of start working on that. Or of course I could continue working on the Lego city. The issue is in order to start working on the Lego city, I need more parts. So the other option that I have involves getting those parts. Just walk over this big mountain of cardboard here. That for sure has to go. In order to get parts to work on the Lego city, I've got to start breaking down a bunch of my large custom creations, which of course are Ninjago Mountain right there behind the A-frame cabin, Mountain View Observatory Mountain right there behind the 8 Studs house, and then there's also Santa Claus's Mountain. There's also the ski slope. So I'm going to break down the ski slope, that's the lower portion of it, and also the raised section. Then I have all of this stuff from the amusement park that also needs to be parted out, and then the entire Winter Village Mills plates need to be parted out as well. So it just really depends on what I want to do. Do I want to do woodworking today? Woodworking, running saws and stuff. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that today. It's Sunday. Sunday's not a saw day for me. So I guess I'm going to break down a lot of that stuff. Whew, this is going to be hard to do. What do I do? Smash it, throw it, and then sort it? Or do I just break it down like a civilized person? I should probably just break it down like a civilized person because I don't want to risk damaging any parts. And I think smashing it would A, make parts go absolutely everywhere, and B, damage parts. So I'm going to be a rational, civilized person. The first thing I decided to do is remove everything from the city that I want to break down. And I brought it all upstairs here. There's a lot of it, especially when you put it on 3 tables, condensed into one big cluster. The ski hill, all the Winter Village plates, this like random park plate with the bonsai tree, even the bird aviary from the zoo has got to be broken down because it's only like half a cliff. It used to be on the base of one of these mountains. I think it was the Mountain View Observatory Mountain. That's got to be destroyed because the zoo's going to get completely redone. The stuff down there might be salvageable, but this aviary, I don't think it is. There's another mountain plate right here. This was the front side of the Mountain View Observatory Mountain, and this one had like a ridge for the train and connected to the raised platform coverings, so that is no longer valid or no longer needed. Then there's this mountain, which I could probably salvage, but I just don't think it's going to look right if I try to salvage it because it was in a corner. So you've got like these colorful supports on the backside. I just really don't think that's going to work. So the the 2-tiered Ninjago Mountain, it's going to be gone, and then Santa's Mountain as well, which is really blocky just based on the surface area that I built it on. And then there's this gravel road, which actually used to go up to the top of the Mountain View Observatory. It was on this side right here. So it's funny because this was part of the Mountain View Observatory Mountain. So was that, obviously. And so was this. And this is just like all the different pieces were sort of scattered all over. And I'm excited to break all this stuff down and just extract all the pieces so we can build an epic mountain. Imagine if I took all of the dark bluish gray pieces from all of these components and built a massive mountain, or at least the start of a massive mountain, right where the zoo is, and also the Ninjago city. Like, that would be so cool. There's a lot of parts there. You'd be able to build something pretty awesome.
I mentioned that I didn't want to smash this stuff. I want to try and keep it somewhat civilized. Also, if I were to like take these massive Mills plates and throw them, odds are like some of the big valuable parts, like the 16 by 16 plates, they might get damaged. So I don't really want to risk that. Why would I do that? Also, if I don't smash them, I can go through and pick out all the minifigures and pick out all the vegetation and safely preserve anything that I can use later on. So that's what I'm Starting with there, I've got a massive bag full of minifigures that I've just accumulated. I'm also putting all the mini builds in there, whether it be like mailboxes or Santa's sleigh, all those different styles of things. Also, I've got a huge pile of vegetation that I'm creating on my desk on the right side of the studio there, like by my computer. And I'm just picking out all the little sapling trees, just any vegetation, any of the larger stuff. The bamboo and all that, I'll just leave as stuff that has to be parted out. So once I get all the mini builds, minifigures, and trees and stuff out of there, I can actually start deconstructing this. So there's two ways that I could do this. I could break down each thing individually and sort one thing at a time. Or I can just pretty much rip this apart and create one giant pile of pieces that need to be like all broken down and sorted. And I decided I'm going to go with the giant pile method. So you can see I'm starting to rip down some of these mountains here, and it's pretty cool. Ripping these apart, you actually can start to see how much brickwork goes into the like support structure of the mountains. The ski hill, I used the IKEA boxes. I cheated a bit, but all the dark bluish gray mountains, I guess other than Santa Claus's mountain, but like the Mountain View Observatory one there, you can see it like sort of in the center of the table. You can see the grid that I built. It's almost like a honeycomb structure that was built using, I think it was sand green bricks and also yellow 1x bricks, and then I topped it with tiles, and I was able to place the Mountain View Observatory right there, so it wasn't really tacked down in place. And yeah, it's just a really cool structure under there. And I really do look forward to making a larger mountain that's not going to be as square as some of these. Some of these did turn out a little bit square. It's just because, for example, the Mountain View Observatory is pretty much 48 by 48 studs, and I only had a small 48 by 48 stud base plate to work up to the top of the Mountain View Observatory. So it's hard not to make a square mountain when the building that I was putting on top of it was square and I didn't have a whole lot of studs to work with. But luckily for me, in the new layout, I've got a lot of studs to work with, so I'm going to be able to do different things when it comes to sculpting these mountains. But it's pretty fun just like flipping them upside down, peeling off all the 2x2 bricks, getting rid of all the mills plate structures, like all the 4x6 dark bluish gray plates that are underneath those 2x2 bricks, and then also like stacking up all the base plates. You can see a stack of base plates right on the edge of that, or right on the corner of that white table there. So it's pretty fun just going through and ripping this stuff apart. It's a lot of memories. I just spent so much time like building all of this stuff, and it's like, holy cow, it's crazy to think how fast I can rip this stuff apart. But how long did it take to put together? Like, look at that. I just flipped over the Ninjago mountain. Are you kidding me? I built that over like a 3-day period. Like 3 8-hour shifts of labor probably went into that. You know what I mean? And there's also so many different renditions too of that. Like there's just so many different variations of that same Ninjago mountain that I made. And then here today we destroyed it, and I can't wait to see the new version. That's pretty much it though. I'm just picking up all the pieces that fell into the ground right now and putting them into this massive pile on these 3 tables. It's crazy to look at the accumulation of parts. Like, I wonder how many parts that is. Like, this is just nuts. There are so many pieces. It's ridiculous. The huge towers of 2x4 bricks, all the 16x16 plates, all sorts of tiles. There's the honeycomb 1x8 yellow bricks and 1x8 sand green bricks, all the white plate from the Winter Village that'll be able to rebuild into a snow-capped mountain, all sorts of train track underlaying tile for ballast tracks, and a huge amount of rock panels. Also some Technic bricks, which are great for building structure as well. And then there's the huge stack of base plates on the ground. Like, look at all those 48 by 48s, 32 by 32s, and 16 by 32s as well. I managed to extract the chairlift. That was pretty cool design. Decided I'm going to keep that because I'm going to have a mountain somewhere as well with a ski slope. And there's all the trees and all the structures like the temple, the Mountain View Observatory, and then a huge bag of minifigures on my desk here. Holy cow, like that is a lot of pieces. I can't wait to rebuild something pretty cool with all of these parts. It's going to be awesome. That's what it's all about. Recycling your mocks, build, destroy, repeat.
That was the easy part. Now the hard part of sorting it all by part type. But with that said, there's not like a huge amount of part varieties here, so I'll be able to reduce this pile pretty quickly. Like if I go through and I grab all the 16 by 16 plates, and I grab all the 2 by 2 brick, and all the 2 by 3 brick, and all the rock panels, and all the slopes, and I get some massive bins and just sort of start sorting the big bulky stuff out of here, get all the 2 by 4 towers out of the way, get all this stuff out of here, because it's going to go quickly, because this was mainly like big mountains and stuff, so there's a lot of huge parts that involve the structure and a lot of stuff that involved mills plates, like you saw all the base plates there. And it's just wild to see like what it was before and what it is after. Am I eager to sort this? Yes, because then I get all those pieces for the Lego City, and I'm just really excited about that, because I can start to build mills plates, and I can start to build a new mountain that will support Ninjago City, and also start the elevation process of the zoo, and just start to build other mills plates in the surrounding area as well. This stuff, like, it was so hard to rip apart just because I spent like so many hours, so many days of labor building all of this stuff, but it was for the old layout and it served its purpose for that time, and now it's time to, you know, spring toward the bigger, brighter future with these parts. That's really about it for today, everybody. I don't feel like spending the rest of my beautiful Sunday here sorting all of this. So when I come back another day, I'll get going on it, I guess. Something to look forward to. I think I'm probably going to build the structure for that medieval scene, get that all done, and then sort this. At least it's on tables, and I've got a lot of space up here, so even if these tables sit here for a day or two, it's not the end of the world. But there we go. Months of work, a year of work, maybe not a year, but I mean, over the span of a year, I built all this stuff, so a year of work gone. It's pretty cool. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. Farewell.